Hello everyone, Neil Tappin here from Golf Monthly and welcome to the London Club and this video on the 5 golf gear checks that every golfer needs to make. Now obviously you've got 14 clubs that you can carry with you, plus a whole host of different accessories and golf balls as well. So it pays to make sure that what you're carrying with you is set up exactly right for you so that there aren't any silly mistakes that could end up costing you shots. And now if you're new to the Golf Monthly channel, please do hit the subscribe button to make sure that you don't miss any of our videos. But let's get started looking at the first on our list of 5 golf gear checks. Now the first check to make is to ensure that each of the clubs in your bag goes the distance that you think it goes. This is something worth doing maybe once or twice during a season. I would pick a driving range with good quality golf balls, well-defined targets, and if possible, ball tracking technology that will give you an idea about how far each of the clubs in your bag carries. Now it's the carry distance that you're after, not the total distance. The total distance will depend on ground conditions. The carry distance will give you an idea when you're out on the golf course what hazards you can fly over, where you need to pitch the ball in order to get the ball close to the flag. So it's carry distances that you're after. Now, ideally, you will be able to get those reliable carry distances that we're talking about for every club in your bag. But I appreciate this may or may not be possible depending on the access you have to things like good quality golf balls at the driving range and the technology to track the shots. If you're struggling on that front, one thing you can still do is you can still check to see that the gaps between your clubs are even. This can be really helpful. Now, it might well be that over the course of the season, the loft of one of your irons has changed a little bit and actually has made it a little bit stronger or a little bit weaker. If you go through this process, you might well be able to identify anything that really stands out in the data as being wrong. And likewise, it could be that either you're getting a little bit older or maybe not swinging the club as fast as you used to, and perhaps your 5-iron doesn't go as far or is going the same distance as your 6-iron, in which case you're carrying a club that you don't need to carry, and there will be an equipment solution out there for you. This is just good housekeeping, good to make sure that each of the clubs that you're carrying is going as far as you think it will, so that when you get to the course, you've got confidence in the numbers that you're able to carry the ball, but also that you're not carrying anything that isn't doing exactly what you want it to. Now, the next check to make is your grips on your clubs. Now, your grips are your only point of contact with the golf club, so making sure they offer plenty of traction for as much control as possible while you're making a full and athletic swing is absolutely essential. And here I've got an older golf club with an old grip on it, and this is what you're looking out for. So this grip has a bit of a, I'd say a bit of a sheen to it, which you can tell isn't offering as much grip as you'd want it to. Now, if this was in my bag, which it isn't, but if this was in my bag, I'd give this a good clean. I'd give it a scrub with some hot soapy water to see if I was able to resurrect this grip, because I think over time grips get dirty. If you've been out on the course on a really sunny day where you've had sun cream in your hands, they can get that sort of grease sort of baked into them slightly, that causes you to have less traction than you would hope. So I would give that a clean and see if I was able to recover it. If not, then obviously I think I'd probably look to invest in a new grip for this golf club. Now, in my hands here, I've got 2 clubs that I am currently carrying in my bag, and this shows you why you need to make a check about your grips, because in my right hand here is my 50-degree wedge. This grip is in a great state. You can see it's really clean, offering plenty of traction. That's fine. No need to clean, no need to replace. But in my left hand here, I've got my 3-wood. And obviously when you make a swing with a 3-wood, you want to be as athletic and powerful as possible, and you want as much grip as possible. But as you can see, especially when you compare the two, this grip is in need of a bit of care and attention. Again, I'd give this a clean, and if it still wasn't offering as much traction as I want, then I would replace it. These are the sorts of checks that are worth making, probably with your grips, again, maybe once, maybe twice a year. Make sure they're in as good a state as possible, because, as I said, if you're looking to make full, athletic, powerful swings, you want as good a control of the club as you can possibly get. Okay, so the next one on my list is about golf balls. And actually, this is less about the state of the golf balls that you carry, because I don't know about you, but I tend to lose balls before I retire them. It's actually more about the sheer number of makes and models of golf balls that you're carrying around the course with you. So during the course of a normal season, you'll probably spend enough time searching for golf balls, whether it's your own or your playing partners, that you will pick up quite a few different makes and models. So if I were you, I'd go and have a look at your golf bag and have a look at the sheer number of different makes and models. Take out anything that you can't imagine yourself actually playing with, because otherwise you're just adding weight to your golf bag for no reason. Once you've done that, then maybe identify the one make and model that you really like, the one that offers you what you feel like is the best performance, and then maybe invest in a few more of those golf balls so that you have one ball in your bag that is your kind of favoured option. Because if over time you get used to the way in which that golf ball performs, particularly in the short game, then understanding exactly what to expect could make a big difference. Okay, so the next one on my list relates to wedges, and in particular, the state of the face of your wedges. Now, it's a natural thing about golf that over the course of a period of time, you will not get as much spin with your wedges as you did when they were brand new. Of course you won't, most golfers know that. But there's an important distinction to make here between the wedges that you carry. In particular, if you're somebody that uses the same wedge for all of your short game shots, and you practice with it a lot, and in particular you hit a lot of bunker shots with it, that wedge will probably need to be upgraded on a slightly more regular basis than the other wedges in your bag. If you think about a bunker shot, it's a bit like sandblasting the face of your wedge. It's going to really dampen down those grooves, and it's not going to just affect the amount of spin you're able to generate, but it will also change the ball flight that you create with your short game. So it's something to think about. This wedge that I'm carrying here, this is an old favourite. I absolutely love this wedge, but there's no two ways about it. It's coming towards the end of its lifespan. I'm not able to generate anywhere near as much spin with this wedge as I was when I first got it. And if I compare it to a newer wedge, the face of which I can actually see the difference in the grooves. So I think that's a kind of a warning sign that you might think to yourself, actually, a new wedge, fresh grooves might allow me to be a little bit more aggressive with my short game shots, which could actually really help. Okay, so the next check to make is about your golf gloves. And if you're anything like me, you'll have quite a few different golf gloves in your bag, and it's worth taking a look at them all to figure out which stage of their lifespan they're at. Now, there might well be a few in your bag that have got wet and then dried and as a result become quite hard and are maybe cracking, or alternatively, they've got really significant wear marks on them, in which case I would just get rid of those golf gloves. Now, you're also likely to have a few gloves like I've got in my hand here. This glove is pretty old. As you can see, it's pretty dirty, and there are some wear marks on the thumb, but when I put it on, it still feels really good. It's still nice and soft. Now, I would continue to carry this glove, but I'd probably only use it to practice with. And by doing that, I know that I'm extending the lifespan of the good gloves that I have in my bag. And another tip that will help you do that is to carry some wet weather gloves. So wet weather gloves come in a pair, and they're really good when the weather's bad. They'll offer you excellent traction. But crucially, by carrying some wet weather gloves in your bag, you know that you'll be able to extend the lifespan of your good gloves, again, so that you're not wearing them in really bad weather conditions, which can accelerate the degradation of those gloves. So by just doing those couple of simple things, I think you'll find that you'll have a better quality of golf glove in your bag waiting to be used in competition play. Okay, so that's my list of 5 golf gear checks that every golfer should make. Please do leave some comments below. Is there anything you think I've missed? It's always worth sharing ideas around. There might be some other people there that can really benefit from any ideas that you have about how to keep your clubs in as good a condition as possible. Because I think by doing these checks and doing them on a fairly regular basis, you'll be ensuring that you're not making any of those silly mistakes that we can all make from time to time, and ensuring that the clubs that you carry are really doing the business for you out on the golf course. Thanks for watching. That's all for now from the London Club. We'll see you next time.